Hey there, little adventurers and big dreamers. Imagine a world where a sneaky wolf lurks in the shadows and a brave boy learns the biggest lesson of his life. Get ready for The Boy and the Wolf, a tale full of thrills, laughs, and heartwarming surprises that'll make you howl with excitement. If you love stories that sparkle with magic and teach us all something special, hit that subscribe button on Apple Lemon Kids right now. Join our fun family for more enchanting adventures every week. Okay, let's dive in. Hello, my young friends. My name is Timmy, and I am the boy from the story. You've probably heard about the one with the wolf. But today, I'm going to tell it to you myself. Just like I'm sitting right there with you by a cozy campfire under a sky full of twinkling stars. Are you ready? Snuggle up, grab your favorite stuffed animal, and let's go on this adventure together. I'll share every exciting detail with lots of fun facts to make your eyes widen in wonder. And remember, this isn't just a story. It's a lesson wrapped in magic that even grown-ups can learn from again. I grew up in a tiny village nestled between rolling green hills and a thick, whispering forest. Our village was called Willowbrook, named after the big willow trees that swayed like gentle giants by the river. Did you know that willow trees can live for over 100 years? They're like wise old grandparents watching over us. Back then, I was about 8 years old, with messy brown hair that always stuck up like a rooster's feathers, and freckles sprinkled across my nose from playing in the sun all day. My job was to watch over our family's flock of sheep. Oh, those sheep were the floofiest things. Sheep have wool that's super soft because it's made of keratin, the same stuff as your hair and nails. But they can be silly. They follow each other everywhere, which is why we say follow like sheep when people copy without thinking. Every morning, I'd wake up at dawn when the sky was painted pink and orange like a giant watercolor painting. I'd grab my wooden staff, carved by my grandpa from a strong oak branch, and lead the sheep up to the grassy meadow on the hill. From up there, I could see the whole village, the thatched roofs of the cottages, the smoke curling from chimneys, and the farmers waving as they plowed their fields. But the best part? The forest edge, where mysterious shadows danced. That's where the wolves lived, or so the villagers said. Wolves are amazing creatures. You know, they really like big dogs with super senses. They can hear a twig snap from over a mile away. And they live in packs, like a family team, hunting together and taking care of their pups. But in our village, we were always warned, stay away from the wolves. They're clever and quick. Now, here's where my story gets a bit tricky. And I have to be honest with you, because honesty is the key to everything, as I learned the hard way. Watching sheep all day could get boring. The sheep would munch grass, bass softly, and sometimes chase butterflies. Butterflies, by the way, taste with their feet. Isn't that curious? They land on flowers and taste the nectar before sipping it up with their long tongues like straws. But me, I'd sit there, dreaming of adventures. I'd imagine being a knight fighting dragons or a pirate sailing stormy seas. To liven things up. One sunny afternoon, I got a naughty idea. I cupped my hands around my mouth and shouted as loud as I could, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! A wolf is after the sheep!" Oh, the villagers came running. Farmers dropped their tools. Bakers left their ovens. And even the old storyteller paused his tales. They huffed and puffed up the hill, sticks in hand, ready to chase away the big bad wolf. But when they got there, ... no wolf. Just me, giggling on the ground. "It was a joke," I said, laughing so hard my belly hurt. They shook their heads, grumbled a bit, and went back down. "Don't do that again, Timmy," they warned. But did I listen? Nope. The next day, feeling bored again, I did it once more. "Wolf! Wolf!" Up they came, faster this time, worried faces all red from running. No wolf. I rolled around laughing. Fooled you. This time, they were mad. Boy, that's not funny. Crying wolf when there's none could get us all in trouble someday. You see, kids, that's where the emotion starts bubbling up in my heart even now. I didn't realize how my little jokes were like tiny cracks in a dam. They might seem small, but they can lead to a big flood. But let's pause for a second. If you're enjoying this tale of mischief and mystery, why not hop over to Apple Lemon Kids and subscribe? We've got tons more stories like this one, where brave kids like me learn big lessons while having fun. Tell your friends, Let's make our channel the go-to spot for giggles and growth. Back to the story. A few days passed, and I promised myself I'd behave. But boredom crept in like a sneaky fog. One more time, I thought. Just for fun. Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is here! I yelled. This time, the villagers peeked out their windows, sighed, and went back to work. No one came. I felt a tiny pang in my chest like a sad little rain cloud over my head. But I shrugged it off and went back to watching the sheep nibble away. Did you know sheep can remember up to 50 faces for years? They're smarter than they look. Then, one twilight evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in fiery reds and purples, I heard a rustle in the bushes. My heart skipped a beat. Out stepped a real wolf! He was magnificent, gray fur shimmering like silver, yellow eyes glowing like lanterns, and paws as big as my hands. Wolves can run up to 35 miles per hour, faster than a bike zooming downhill. This one wasn't playing. He crouched low, teeth bared, stalking toward the sheep. My fluffy friends froze, then scattered in panic, bang loudly. Wolf! Wolf! Help! A real wolf! I screamed, my voice cracking with fear. I waved my staff, trying to look brave, but my knees wobbled like jelly. I shouted again and again, but no one came. The villagers thought it was another joke. Tears stung my eyes as the wolf lunged at a little lamb. I charged forward, swinging my staff wide. Go away! Leave them alone! The wolf snarled, snapping at the air. But I stood my ground, heart pounding like a drum. Emotions swirled inside me. Fear, regret, anger at myself. Why hadn't I listened? The wolf grabbed a sheep by the wool and started dragging it toward the forest. I chased after, yelling, but he was too strong. Just as hope faded, a miracle happened. My grandpa, who lived nearby, heard my cries. He wasn't fooled like the others. He knew my voice when it was real. He burst from the trees with his hunting bow, shouting fiercely. The wolf dropped the sheep and bolted back into the shadows, tail between his legs. Panting, I fell to my knees, hugging the scared lamb. Grandpa wrapped his arms around me. Timmy, what happened? Through sobs, I confessed everything. The jokes, the lies, the boredom. He nodded wisely. Son, when you cry wolf too many times, people stop believing you, even when danger is real. Honesty is like a bridge. Break it, and it's hard to cross back. That night, the village gathered. I stood before them, face hot with shame, and apologized. I'm sorry for tricking you. I learned that lies can hurt everyone, especially when we need help the most. They forgave me, but with stern looks that said, don't forget this. From that day on, I changed. I found ways to make shepherding fun without tricks like naming each sheep Fluffy, Spot, Jumper, and telling them stories. I learned wolf facts to stay safe. They howl to communicate over long distances, like nature's telephone. And I shared those curiosities with the village kids, turning my meadow into a storytelling spot. Life became an adventure without lies. Emotions? Oh, there were plenty. Joy in truth, warmth in trust, and excitement in real discoveries. And that's my story. Dear friends, the boy who cried wolf, but who grew into someone better. It's emotional because it reminds us all that mistakes are okay if we learn from them. It's curious, with all those animal facts to spark your wonder. And it's educational. Always tell the truth, because one day, it might save the day. Thank you so much for listening with your big, bright hearts. If this tale touched you, subscribe to Apple Lemon Kids for more magical stories that teach and thrill. Like, comment, and share what you learned today. And hey, stick around. Our next video has an even bigger surprise waiting, full of wonder and whimsy you won't want to miss. See you soon.